can turn the world on with a smile. You can take a nothing day and suddenly make it all seem worthwhile. Well, it's your girl and you should know it. With each glance and every little movement you show it. Love is all around, don't need to fake it. You can never down, why don't you take it? You're gonna make it after all.
Hello everyone, welcome to the Jodie Emery Show. Today is Thursday, May 12th, and tomorrow I'm flying down to Mississippi to visit Marc down in YAZOO City in the medium security prison. Now, if you've been watching the news, you may have heard that there is quite a lot of flooding happening on the Mississippi River and in the areas surrounding it. And Marc's prison in YAZOO City is right in an area where there is some flooding to be expected. But it might not be that bad, hopefully not, I'm praying that it's not, but it could be enough to have the prison put on lockdown. At first, Marc had been hearing rumors that they might all be evacuated to some military barracks in Alabama or somewhere else, but they've heard now that if anything should happen, they'll just be locked down. And they are in a gigantic concrete facility, so it is fairly safe. I don't think any flooding is really going to cause that much damage in the massive structure that's there. So I'm going to let Marc know all about everything that's been going on. The Toronto Freedom Festival, I just returned from it. It was an incredible event with 50,000 people joining together to celebrate the cannabis culture and to call for an end to prohibition. Marc was everywhere at this event, even though he wasn't there in person, and it was the first time in 6 years that Marc hasn't been able to attend. And his big banner was on the side of the stage. People had free Marc t-shirts, free Marc signs. People speaking on stage talked about Marc, and it really was almost the Toronto Free Marc Festival. But the march itself was incredible. We had at least 20 to 30,000 people walking through the streets of downtown, marching with signs and their bongs and smoking and chanting and celebrating. It was an incredible sight, and I encourage you to look up the videos at Cannabis Culture Mag on YouTube, and we'll include a link below so you can check out that channel as well. Jeremiah Vandermeer, the editor of Cannabis Culture, takes care of that account, and he's putting together a big collection of videos so that you can check out what the Freedom Festival was like. And I got to do the 420 countdown. It was an incredible scene with a massive smoke cloud going up, and I reminded everybody that that smoke signal goes straight to Harper to tell him that we are people who aren't hurting anyone, and we do not deserve to be put in jail and hurt by the government or the police. And that's the message we need to keep pushing. And the message will continue at the Treating Yourself Expo, which we have been invited to attend by Marc, the publisher of Treating Yourself. He's given us a free booth this year, along with Why Prohibition and End Prohibition. So the Free Marc Cannabis Culture crew will be back in Toronto on June 3rd, 4th, and 5th at the Expo in downtown Toronto. So you can find that info online at treatingyourself.com. And you'll be able to come up and say hello, grab a Free Marc t-shirt. And I've even been told by Marc that they're going to hang the massive Free Marc banner on the back of the stage. And that would be awesome if they do that, because we need to show some solidarity together. All the people in the Canadian cannabis community realize the threat that Harper poses to us, the people we love, and what we all do in our lives, which is to promote cannabis as a medicine that's saving people's lives, and to advocate for an end to prohibition so we can prevent the destruction of people's lives through imprisonment, incarceration, arrest, and all the harms that come from the drug war. So we are contributing to other parts of the movement as well, not just the movement for cannabis, but the movement for peace, liberty, justice, freedom, and looking after one another. And we've decided that every other Tuesday night at the BC Marijuana Party headquarters, when we hold our jam night with our host Adam Bowen, there'll be music played, and people come and they contribute $5 each to attend. And 50% of all the admission fees go towards a different charity every week. So this Tuesday we gave money to the BC Civil Liberties Association because of the work that they're doing on so many fronts, but also in particular because I had received a letter from them asking for donations to help with solitary confinement and how that's being done to prisoners in Canada, just like what happened to Marc, and I know what kind of torture and agony it is. In fact, Amnesty International defines solitary confinement as torture when it's done for extended periods of time. So I'm happy that the people contributing to the BCMP LMP Jam Night are giving money to the different charities that we've chosen, and every other week you can come on down to 307 West Hastings Street and take part and give back to the community, so we can show that cannabis users and supporters are also supporters of freedom and liberty and peace and happiness for everybody who are peaceful, nonviolent people. So thanks a lot for all your continued support. Please write Marc a letter, and hopefully he'll get it and be able to write back to you. Although he has been keeping very busy learning Spanish, and he's learning how to play guitar and complaining about how hard it is and how much his fingers hurt, but he's not going to give up because he's never quit on anything. So he's going to keep struggling to play so he can play music for me when he gets home. That's what he wants to do. Which is very sweet and cute. So please send Marc letters, keep his spirits up. He's trying hard to be positive and busy, but he really depends on knowing that people haven't forgotten about him. So go to freemarc.ca, the address is on the front page. Send him a note, let him know what's going on in your world, send him some pictures, and do what you can to help end prohibition and get all the nonviolent, peaceful pot prisoners out of prison, and working hard to make sure nobody else's lives gets destroyed from this drug war. Free Marc Emery, everybody.